In the dim light of a June morning in 793, monks on the island of Lindisfarne spot sails cutting through the North Sea fog. These are not the familiar ships of traders from across the water. Long and sleek, they beach on the shore with a grind of wood against pebble. Men spill out, axes in hand, their wool tunics salt-stiffened from the voyage. They move toward the monastery, where stone crosses stand silent amid the calls of gulls. By day's end, altars are stripped. Some brothers lie slain, others are bound for distant markets. A chronicler later notes the event as a sudden terror, unforeseen in the annals of Britain. Those sails belonged to Norsemen from the fjords of what is now Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. Their homelands stretch across rocky coasts and dense forests, where iron tools carve out farms from thin soil. By the late 8th century, populations swell. Estimates suggest Scandinavia holds perhaps 500,000 souls, pressing against limited arable land. Winters bite hard, lasting months, with ice locking harbors. Yet these people build vessels unlike any before. Clinker-built hulls of oak, up to 23 meters long, drawing just a meter of water. They flex with waves, powered by square sails or oars, carrying crews of 30 or more across open seas. Raids like Lindisfarne multiply in the decades that follow. In 794, the monastery at Iona off Scotland's coast feels the same fury, its scriptorium ransacked for illuminated manuscripts and silver chalices. By 841, a fortified camp rises on the River Liffey in Ireland, evolving into Dublin, a hub not just for plunder, but for trade in amber, furs, and slaves. These Norsemen, often called Vikings from the Old Norse word for bay or inlet, navigate rivers deep into Frankish lands. In 845, a fleet of 120 ships ascends the Seine to Paris, extracting 7,000 pounds of silver as tribute to depart. Such demands, known as Danegeld, become routine, funneling wealth back to Scandinavian halls. Beneath the violence, patterns emerge that challenge the image of mindless marauders. Archaeological digs in places like Hedeby, a trading town in southern Denmark, uncover scales and weights for measuring hack silver, chopped up coins from distant Abbasid caliphates. Between the 9th and 11th centuries tell quieter stories. One in Uppland commemorates a man who went east with Ingvar, part of expeditions to the Caspian Sea, blending raid with commerce. These stones, often raised by widows or sons, speak of inheritance laws allowing women to own property, divorce, or even lead voyages, evidenced by a female warrior's grave in Birka, complete with weapons and game pieces. Expansion pushes further, driven by decisions born of necessity and ambition. Around 874, settlers reach Iceland, their longships laden with timber, livestock, and families. The island's volcanic soil yields barley fields, and by 930, an assembly called the Althing convenes outdoors, debating laws without a king, a system of elected chieftains resolving blood feuds through compensation rather than endless vengeance. Farther west, in 986, Eric the Red, exiled from Norway for manslaughter, leads 14 ships to Greenland. There, amid fjords echoing with walrus calls, 3 settlements take root, housing up to 5,000 people by the 13th century. Driftwood is scarce, so they trade ivory from narwhal tusks for iron from Europe. Even North America beckons briefly. Around 1000, Leif Erikson establishes a camp at L'Anse aux Meadows in Newfoundland, where turf walls and iron smelting pits now yield to excavation, proving contact 5 centuries before Columbus. Yet tensions simmer in these ventures. Common tales paint Vikings in horned helmets, berserk in battle, but no such helmets appear in graves or art, only practical conical ones of iron and leather. Sagas, written down in Iceland from the 13th century, glorify raids yet reveal internal fractures. Clans feud over land. Kings like Harald Fairhair consolidate power around 872, forcing the dispossessed to seek fortunes abroad. The Prescavisional story, living there formerly from North Witchenbad, could not come back in their mind. There cared a Prestfulling this person, only forced locked important of raids. Then, the mini Prestful indued was littered and level visions Christian chroniclers, like those in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, decry them as heathens, ignoring how Norse paganism, with its gods Odin and Thor etched on amulets, coexists with growing trade in Christian relics. By the 10th century, conversions begin. Denmark's Harald Bluetooth erects a runestone in 965, proclaiming he made the Danes Christian, shifting alliances toward European courts. Experts poring over these artifacts see not chaos, but strategy. Ship burials at Oseberg in Norway, dated to 834, reveal vessels packed with tapestries, sleds, and animal sacrifices, signs of a society valuing craftsmanship and ritual. DNA from bones in mass graves, like the one at Repton in England from 873, mixes Scandinavian and local strains, hinting at intermarriage rather than mere conquest. In the East, Varangians formed the backbone of the Byzantine Emperor's Guard by the 10th century, their runic graffiti scratched into Hagia Sophia's marble. These traces suggest a network spanning from Baghdad to York, where spices and silks flow alongside slaves and swords. As the 11th century unfolds, the pace slows. In 1016, Canute the Great rules a North Sea empire encompassing Denmark, England, and Norway. But his death in 1035 fragments it. The final gasp comes in 1066 at Stamford Bridge, where Norwegian King Harald Hardrada falls to an English arrow, his army shattered. That same year, descendants of Viking settlers, the Normans under William, conquer England at Hastings, blending Norse vigor with Frankish order. In the end, what lingers are the faint echoes in place names, from Jorvik to Normandy, whispering of lives reshaped by sea and choice. One wonders what other horizons they might have chased, had the winds held.